It's Madden NFL 23. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. And it's all up next.
The summer humidity has given way to an absolutely gorgeous fall afternoon here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And we are underway from Miami. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
That kind of kickoff return is something we call a momentum play. So if you're the offensive coordinator and you have a script of plays that you plan to run, you may change it up now because you may decide to go for some bigger strikes and try and keep the momentum going.
The Browns on their way out now for the first time, and we'll also get a look at the player brought in from Houston to run this offense, and that's Deshaun Watson.
And he's exactly the man you want in control of your offense. Excellent arm, good zip on the ball, not afraid to use his legs when he needs to. And what he's excelled at doing is making plays when the first read isn't available or when the pressure's about to get to him.
Let's do this, man. Let's go.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Watson. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Playing here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Watson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. With Raekwon Davis, the man fighting in for that sack. Defensively, really can't script the start much better. You get a 3 and out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept him short of a first down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this one gifted won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They'll come out throwing here on first down. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
A first carry for the Fordham Ram, Chase Edmonds. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 5. They'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He'll get this underneath to Edmonds. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive that'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They're winning 6, but they got 3 here.
And they should be happy. The guys are good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope. They took things on score here today, Frank.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
They left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. To dive in near them to pick out. They were there in time to throw this.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bajorquez to punt. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Edmonds. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Oh, that was the thing, the beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Another carry now for Edmonds. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
I know the game's changed, like people would say 2000. Look, I'm more of a Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the 1st down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On third down, they run with Edmonds. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
They'll set up to throw. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 29-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves to James. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. And that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Let's go. Let's get that touch.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. He'll look to throw. Touchdown, Dolphins! Mike Gesicki, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Extra point and good by Sanders. And the lead grows to 10-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it all concluded with a touchdown pass pass to the tight end, Mike Gesicki. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. The return from his end zone is Grant. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Cleveland offense making their way out. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's Watson. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. To throw again on second down. Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And it goes down. Raekwon Davis. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Now it's Watson. It's caught. Cooper. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to make it fourth down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on third down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
On fourth down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Now Hill to return it. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another first down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll look to throw here. It's Hill, complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. He'll swing that out to Edmonds.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Again, he'll drop to throw. They complete it to Hill. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 17-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, I mean, it hadn't been a picture-perfect first half for this defense to this point, but that's a big play to get them right back in the ballgame.
And I think that changes their mind frame. Now they're saying to themselves, hey, we're still in this. And even though our offense hasn't done anything, we've had our troubles on our own right, we still made a play right there that could change the course of this game. Great job delivering.
Now Cade York for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Browns now going to take over late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range down just shy of the 20. Here's Watson. Swings this out for Hunt. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
A final shot before the break. Watson. Man open, that's Anthony Schwartz. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Browns. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first two quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He'll look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Running left, here's Edmonds. To about the 35, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there, just like last play.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. Again, they run with Edmonds. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They're going to look to throw. Gesicki hauling in the quick throw. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 23. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
And that's a bold and acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time you wait for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hill. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the 1st half.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Trying to pound it in here with Michel. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Michel again. But he will go backwards as he stopped for a loss. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half, and that trend is continuing here.
From back at the 5. This is 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. Touchdown! Mike Gesicki, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter, drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense a rest with a big-time drive in that situation.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Watson got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Watson. That's caught by the tight end, Harrison Bryant. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Watson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Third quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Well, it's not time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and walk much more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
It'll be Edmonds to begin the drive. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll look to Gesicki on the out route. Ball is caught. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He has a 1st down, and that catch which will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well. Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give to Edmonds. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 61 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there. Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. First target, first catch, and a first down. A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll look to throw here. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling. So much for being conservative and running that football. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 35-yard line. Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. And normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter. But the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it. Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? At this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so. Back to throw again. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10. Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll look to throw again. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game. And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muzzled all over the field and getting pushed down it. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got his tight end, Gesicki, in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Dolphins go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. It And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yes, multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. And coaches plan on how to utilize it best when they get in close.
Sanders now to have the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A 10-play drive that time. And it all concluded with a touchdown pass to the tight end, Mike Gesicki. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson over the middle. Amari Cooper. It's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Watson hooking up with Cooper there for the Cleveland 1st. You cannot write these guys off just yet. Not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Watson's throw taken in by Cooper here. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To the air yet again, Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Watson looks to throw again. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Watson now to throw. And the incompletion there, so that breaks a string of 5 straight hookups. It also leads to a 4th down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. Oh, he catches it off the tip. It wasn't even intended for him. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Watson on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Watson. And it's caught. And the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Donovan Peoples-Jones, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. The York on now for the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. Now the Browns will use the 1st of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Another carry for Michel on 2nd down. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's a win for the Dolphins here, and it was their quarterback who led the way, Charles. Pretty impressive play for a rookie.
Yeah, you had to like what you saw. He was on point the whole game. Wound up going over 300 yards and 3 touchdown passes. That will definitely get the job done.